Right, so I can start getting the fuel tank out now. I got the front bumper off just a minute ago. The only problem with the fuel tank, however, is it's held in by 5 bolts. Doesn't sound too tricky yet. You've got two at the front which are nut and bolted, and you can get to both sides. Then you've got one either side here, and then one at the back here. The issue with these three is that they've got basically a plastic casing with effectively just sort of almost like a wing nut inside it, and guess what's happened? They've all broken. So besides that one there, which has very nicely, I've managed to get that one to undo by feeding my hand through the chassis behind the fuel tank, hold on to it just tight enough, and I've managed to get it off. I've got this one here, and then this one here to deal with. And obviously the trouble is, you're looking at a fuel tank with petrol vapour, which means that it is 100% not possible to start grinding at it, because if it gets a single ounce of sparkling vapour, it's going to go like a C3 bit of bomb. So yeah, going to get a bit of invention going in a minute. My current idea is to use these, feed my hand through the chassis and try and get it on there, and then see if I can get it on there just enough that I can hold it to under the bolt. So it's going to be fun, because this one here, I can physically only get to it through, there's a little hole in behind this panel here. So it's all a bit of fun. So let's crack on with it and see if I can do it, shall we? Fingers crossed. So showing you this from the opposite angle as I just did. This is the front end of the fuel tank. Got the feed, and you got the feed going to the fuel pump at the front there, and the one just beside that is the wire that does the cylinder, I think. Now up the sides here inside the chassis is where we've got to try and get the broken fixings off to get the bolts released. The side one here through this side shouldn't be too bad, but the front one I'm really dreading because there ain't really much access to it, so this could be fun. Right, I'm going to crack on with it. Hopefully I'll show you some good news very soon. Now see, the fuel tank is out. It's been a bit of a nightmare to get it out, because of the fact that I've been working inside this box area here that is more or less completely inaccessible from anywhere else. Because as you can see, there is no access apart from through these little holes here, and through these holes the front here. And it's turned out that the front edge here, you've got these holes, and they have nuts and bolts straight through, nice and simple. The sides have got these, which basically you turn them. The general idea is you can undo them a little bit, and then the nut on the top side basically just drops through that hole, which is easy enough apart from when the plastic bit that's supposed to hold it breaks, and then you're sort of just blindly pulling it around to try and hope for the best. This side, it stayed all intact as it's supposed to. Look, so you got a plastic bit with a bit of metal inside it. That's what it's supposed to do. And then you got this one at the back here, which really threw me, which I really wasn't sure about. And well, that one stays in place and the tank lifts over the top of it. So yeah, that's where it just gets really puzzling, really. So yeah, I managed to get it out, and the bit that really spooked me a little bit was the fact that because of the fact that you've got a straight metal pipe through this hole up to the rubber pipe there, just that one there, look, you've actually got to lift, you've actually got to end up with a tank at a vertical position in the same way this torch is, so it goes from being up like that to laying down, and then you have to slide it out sideways, because the pipe literally comes straight off the tank, straight up and onto there. So yeah, it was a rather interesting one to get out, but I did it eventually with a little bit of brute force and a few other words thrown in there. So yeah, but I've got the tank out of the way because there was a bit of fuel in it and it was leaking everywhere, and it was becoming a bit of a hazard to the fact that if anything happened, well, there was a lot of fumes around and it was starting to gas me out a little bit. So I decided it was best to get the tank out of the way and drained, and then come back and film this little bit for you, because otherwise I was probably going to end up passing out or something. So yeah, that's the hole where the tank is. Obviously all this little right here has got surface rust, so it'll be giving a good DA out with some sandpaper on it. Hopefully that'll clean up nicely. But general reason, as I said before, if I change the direction of my torch, because we cannot be welding that suspension mount there with a fuel tank approximately 2 foot away, because it's just frankly a bit of a death wish. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this little instalment and seeing the tank come out. It's a bit unfortunate that I do apologise I couldn't show you taking it out, but it was a lot harder. It wasn't harder, but it was just a lot more awkward than it was when I did it on the 10. So yeah, I'll do a little video in a second to show you the tank itself, just so you can see what I mean as far as the shape of it and the pipe off the side of it. But yeah, that's the tank out. Thanks for watching. Right, so here is the fuel tank. As you can see, it's not in too bad a condition overall, really. It's pretty rust free. I've never had an issue with this car at all when it comes to any dirt being a fuel system, so in that respect I'll probably just give it a quick rinse out before it gets refitted. As far as the outside is concerned, I'll probably give it a really good wire wheel to get all the surface rust off of, like, especially this area here on the filler neck and like around these edges. But besides that, it's never had a problem, so I'm not really inclined to go near it, because I've got a feeling I'm more likely to break it if I do. So yeah, so just to explain how it comes out, because I made a bit of a hash of it, I'm not going to lie. Basically the general idea is this pipe here goes through the chassis of the car, and then that is literally just a little rubber tube straight onto the neck on the body of the car itself, just above it. To get it out the car, obviously normally it sits like so. To get it out the car, the whole thing has got to turn like that, and then that top piece here, sort of right angle, fits straight through the hole in the chassis like a glove. And basically what you have to do is, under the two front bolts here, which are a nut and bolt, the sides and the back are actually this sort of turn and release wing nut sort of thing. On the sides you turn them and they actually pull out of the body. On the back you actually turn the bolt and you just have to hope for the best to get it lined up with the tank, and the tank comes off the bolt. So I've made quite a hash of it because I've spent ages trying to work out how the hell to do it, thinking that where there was plastic on top of these inside the body, I thought I'd broken them off and it was going to be a nightmare with a pair of mole grips trying to get in there to release it. But as it turns out, it's actually quite a clever little way to do it, because it's, I suppose, saves having to contend with loads of rusty nuts and bolts. So yeah, overall not bad at all, and hopefully it will come up quite nicely with a little bit of wire wheeling and some paint to make it look a bit nicer. So yeah, thanks for watching, and update you a bit more soon.